I knew that kind of my kind of feelings around food were kind of they weren't exactly how I wanted them to be. And I knew like there were certain instances where I felt very uncomfortable. For example, I found it hard to go out with friends and eat meals. I constantly thought about food like every minute of every day, and kind of analysed everything I ate, everything I didn't eat, what I could have done better, and it just was getting a bit too much. And I found it hard to kind of concentrate on things I really enjoy in life, so like my job at the time, my friends, seeing my family, and just having kind of those social occasions. I was just a bit preoccupied with kind of food and my lack of self-esteem and kind of poor body image, and it just kind of was a bit overwhelming. And I kind of got to a point where I said, do you know what, enough is enough, and I need to do something about it. And I wanted to speak to someone who's experienced and that would understand me and my position and would be able to help me kind of move forward and understand firstly why I was how I was and how I kind of got to that place, and then also like to be able to then move forwards in a more positive way and kind of repair my relationship with food and myself.
And how did the coaching program itself and working with me start to change things?
Yeah, so actually I think one of the first things that really helped was the fact that I could be so open with you. I think we had the initial phone call even we had, it was the first time I'd ever really told anyone properly that I had an eating disorder. I felt like I was in a really safe space and that nothing I said would be judged, or and that my opinions were valid and how I was feeling was always valid. Then being able to have kind of the techniques to be able to cope with different kind of areas that I might find difficult, some kind of challenges that I might come up against, and they're very like practical techniques that I have that I can put into place, that I can practice every day, and that kind of do slowly like make a difference. That's something that's really great, is that since working with you, it's never been like, okay, you're gonna have to see me forever. This unfortunately in some ways is going to be like something where, you know, we speak and have sessions for a good while, and then when I'm ready I kind of go off my own and start putting these things into practice myself. Now that I'm a bit stronger, it's so much better that I feel like I'm kind of in control of my own recovery and I'm responsible for it, and that also makes me feel very proud, because it's something that I've taken these tools that you've given me and I put them into place in my life every day. And so now I'm kind of being a bit more independent. I can feel proud that I'm working towards being kind of happier and healthier and everything. When you get to that place where you don't, which I never thought I would get to, that kind of place where you don't think about what your next meal is going to be, what your last meal was, how you look, how people view you, how people judge you, the sense of freedom that you get from that is just incredible. And it feels like a massive burden has been lifted, and something that kind of like weighed down on me every day of my life. It's the only way I can see that kind of your relationship with food and body image will be sustainable. It's a method that, you know, it doesn't rely on certain rules or kind of anything like that to kind of, you know, to dictate how you should or shouldn't be. It's that at the end of the day, it is food freedom. And I think when I first joined, I wanted to kind of basically recover from my eating disorder, I would say, and just kind of stop thinking about food so much myself. But actually when I got into the program, when I learned everything that I did and, you know, put into place all the tools, it actually changed my life so much more, because it just gave me a whole new perspective on things, because I didn't have to worry so much anymore, and I was just like so much happier in myself, and I felt like I actually was myself.
Wow. It's amazing that you went through the process and found who you really were and were able to then just be your authentic self. It's, you know, such a freeing thing, and you put the work in to really get yourself there.
I think the one thing I actually use the most in terms of practically, the thing I use the most is writing down every day in my journal 5 things I'm grateful for, and then doing my best to write down my things that I approve of in myself, and 5 things I value about myself, because I think that really sets the tone of my day and it kind of makes me check in. And I think that is so incredibly valuable. To kind of ground yourself before your day even starts, before things get too much or you get too busy and different stresses kind of occur. And then I think the other thing that I would just take away from kind of a more kind of just from a wider perspective would be that kind of feeling that there is just more to life than food and how you look, and that people value you for more than just how you look or what you eat. And I think that sounds, when you say it, it sounds quite basic, but I know I definitely didn't believe that. I thought that was the most important thing. Yeah, if anyone is considering reaching out, I would 100% do it. It's hands down the best thing I've done, probably ever. In terms, I mean, obviously, there's other things in life that are incredibly important, but I think in terms of my personal development and making me who I am today, this is the most important thing I've done. I don't know where I'd be, and I don't really want to think about almost where I would be if I hadn't got to that point where you say, like, enough is enough, I'm going to do something about this, there is another way. Because I just was in such a vicious cycle, and it was not a very nice place to be. And I think, if someone's considering reaching out, just do it, just give it a try, because I think once you reach that safe space with someone who's an expert and has heard everything before and knows and understands and can empathize, that is so unique, and it can just help you tenfold.